I'm Richard Gillespie, volunteer with Nova Parks, and I'm standing in the ancient road trace of Zula Road, a road that headed from the Ashby's Gap Turnpike to the south and was one of the sites critical in the Battle of Middleburg. It was along this trough of road that one of General Jeb Stuart's critical assistants, his aide-de-camp, Heraus von Borcke, was going to be tragically wounded during the Battle of Middleburg. Von Borcke had arrived from Prussia. A member of the Prussian cavalry, he'd arrived in Charleston, South Carolina in May of 1862, managed to meet Stuart, which was his goal, and get appointed to be an aide-de-camp on the cavalry general's staff. He was 250 pounds, he was 6 feet 4 inches tall. He was a memorable looking figure with his mustaches, and Heraus von Borcke idolized Jeb Stuart. As a member of his staff on this hot Friday, June 19th, he shuttled from the headquarters of Stuart, immediately west of us here in this road trace, towards the actual firing line. In particular, he worked hard with Beverly Robertson's North Carolina Brigade, the 4th and 5th North Carolina Cavalries, and he also worked very hard with Stuart's horse artillery immediately to my east. As the battle heated up and charge after charge came towards Mount Defiance, von Borcke frantically shuttled back and forth. And at the key piece of the battle, dressed as he was like his hero with a black plumed cavalry hat, von Borcke managed to take a bullet in the throat. He slumped in the saddle. Two other members of Stuart's staff, including Captain William Blackford, saw the man hit and slump forward. His charger began to rise up and down, frantic with its rider, out of control. Blackford tried to get von Borcke off the horse. The horse would not stop plunging, and then Blackford remembered a tip from von Borcke himself. The Prussian had said, take the horse's ear and twist it sharply, and then you will have control of the horse. The horse, they could get him under control that way. They took him back to the west, back to where headquarters was, and managed to slide the 250-pounder off the saddle. He would eventually be rushed to Upperville, to the home of Confederate Surgeon Dr. Talcott Eliason, whose home still stands on the eastern approaches to Upperville, and there his life was saved. Von Borcke was not able to get back into the saddle until 1866, and that was with the Prussian army itself. But after a year, his wound still plagued him so that he retired to his castle in East Prussia. And there, in memory of his service with the gallant General Stuart, who himself would lose his life in the war, von Borcke flew the Confederate flag for the end of his days from the parapet of the castle.